So who was Edward Thorndike? Let's take a look at his life and work, and see why he's such an important figure in psychology. Edward Thorndike was born in 1874 in Massachusetts in the United States. He passed away in 1949. Thorndike was a psychologist and educator, and he's really known for his pioneering research in animal learning, educational psychology, and behavioral theory. Thorndike is best known for his work on learning through trial and error, and his formulation of the law of effect. This concept actually laid the foundation for what we now call operant conditioning and behaviorism. One of Thorndike's most famous contributions is his puzzle box experiments, which were designed to study animal intelligence. In these experiments, Thorndike placed cats in puzzle boxes to observe how they learned to escape. So, here's the setup. A hungry cat was placed in a box with a mechanism, like a latch, to open the door. Food was placed just outside the box. The cat had to figure out how to escape. At first, the cat acted pretty randomly, scratching, pawing, and just trying different things. By chance, it would hit the lever and get out. With repeated trials, the cat escaped more quickly, learning the correct behavior. The law of effect, first described in 1898, was Thorndike's most important contribution from this work. Behaviors followed by satisfying consequences are more likely to be repeated, while behaviors followed by unpleasant consequences are less likely to be repeated. This principle is actually the foundation of reinforcement learning and was later expanded by B.F. Skinner in what we now call operant conditioning. Alright, let's take a look at some other major laws and principles that are important to understand. The law of exercise, which was later modified, basically states that the more a response is used in a particular situation, the stronger it becomes. In other words, use strengthens the connection. But, Thorndike eventually abandoned this law because there just wasn't enough evidence to support it. Now, the law of readiness says that if an organism is ready to act, actually doing so is satisfying. On the other hand, if it's prevented from acting when it's ready, that can be pretty frustrating. So, Thorndike in educational psychology. Thorndike was also, a pioneer in applying psychological principles to education. He really emphasized measurable outcomes in learning, and developed standardized testing techniques. He argued for drill and practice as effective methods for skill acquisition, and he believed that learning is more effective when material is logically organized and broken into smaller units. Now let's talk about connectionism, which is his learning theory. Thorndike's theory of connectionism proposed that learning involves the formation of connections between stimuli and responses. These connections, they're strengthened through repetition and reinforcement. Moving on to his legacy and influence, Thorndike laid the groundwork for behaviorism, especially for operant conditioning. He actually preceded and influenced John B. Watson and B.F. Skinner. He's considered one of the fathers of educational psychology, and he championed objective measurement in psychology long before it became standard. So just to summarize, Edward Thorndike was a key early psychologist who explored how animals and humans learn from consequences. His law of effect showed that behavior is shaped by its results, setting the stage for modern behaviorist theory. He extended his theories into education, advocating for scientific approaches to teaching and learning. Thorndike's emphasis on observable behavior, empirical research, and quantitative methods really made psychology more scientific and practical.